the Red Sox finally make another splash. Once again, they in December they had traded for Gary Crochet, the big left-hander from the Chicago White Sox. Not the first time they've done that, so hopefully he has a similar trajectory to where Chris Sale was before the injury in 2019. But
and pre what happened when we got rid of Chris Sale and he went on to win a Cy Young.
Right, we're saying right, correct, exactly, right, right, because we don't want to miss that part of the story. So yeah, they signed Alex Bregman away from Houston. He is a 2-time world champion, I believe, or not 3, maybe either 2. Either way, he's won more than 1. He signed here for a 3-year, $120 million deal. So, I'll pass it to you, Mike. Just what were your thoughts on that deal and just the player overall?
Yeah, well, listen, my first thought of the deal was that's a real money deal. Like that's something that we haven't seen John Henry and the Red Sox do in quite a long time. And you can tell that they really wanted the player. 3 years, 120 mil. So, $40 million per year, but there is an opt-out after each season. So, I mean, they gave this player as much flexibility as possible. There's only 30 million of it that's deferred. So this is a real contract, and it's been long overdue. This is something that they needed to do. They have not spent money really in the last 4 or 5 years. And right. For me, and I think for you, it's painful to come to the realization that the Red Sox are no longer the talk of the town. They're not even like the top 3 really anymore. Right. And because growing up, I mean, I think that winning, cures a lot of things, especially the rabid fan base. But like you think back to 2003, we all ate, slept, drank Red Sox.
Yep.
Like I was waking up every morning before school and watching Nesson Sports Desk.
Yep.
Because I wanted to hear, I wanted to hear Hazel's take on the Sox. Because I know that she had a really personal a relationship with that team. But you just drank it all up, and then it was somewhere between. I think obviously 04 great, 07 that was a real one because we won the pennant, and then it just kind of died off. 13 was fun, 18 was fun.
But 08 would have been fun. 08 would have been fun had they won.
Yeah, if you don't lose Game 7.
I remember them forcing the Game 7 against Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
And then because at that time they had won the division 3 years in a row for the first time in forever. So, but once again, we remember the intricate details because we follow, closely. Well, to the casual fan, it was like, oh, okay, yeah, they won 4 in 20 years, great. But I remember other years where they were really good, but just didn't get the job done, unfortunately.
But I think they have. I think the days of us out trying to defend the Yankees and all that, I think that's probably gone, which sucks. But it doesn't mean that you can't make little deals like this that make your team better. And Alex Bregman makes sure. Right. What disappoints me, sorry to go into the negative right off, is it makes the most sense to have him play third. He's a baseman. He is defensively efficient. And then you have Raphael Devers come out and say third base is my spot. Bro, over the last 4 years, you average 20 errors per year. You are one of the worst defensive third basemen out there.
Whoa.
So I just want this team to act like the 04 team, which I know, or even the 03 team. It's a big, it's a hard call, but just do whatever is best for the team.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'll get on the Devers thing in a moment, but just my initial thoughts on the signing was it was great. Once again, when I saw, because my friend Aaron had broke the news to me because I fell asleep, and he was like, he wrote Bregman, that's an interesting signing. I'm just like, what? I'm thinking he's a Mets fan, so I'm thinking he meant for them, and I was like, but I'm like, what? He signed here? We got him? Wow. And listen, people were going crazy over the 40 million AAV, but it's it's the subtext. You have not been competitive, you haven't been good, so you were going to have to overpay to get some guys here. Now, I think the other offer, it was reported that it was 6 years, 168 from Houston and some other teams. it's good to know that we can beat out Detroit and Chicago still. I know they still got some guys in the offseason, but I remember them getting Javi Baez a few years ago in Detroit for like 6 years, 140, which is the same money we gave the Story that same year as well. So he's another guy that I'm hoping they can bounce back, because I think that his swing is tailor made for Fenway. We just haven't seen it outside of like the hot stretch he had his first season in Boston. So we're hoping for that. But yeah, it brings the attitude back here. So like you said, we're like that 03 team, 04 team that had a lot of personality, a lot of dog in them, pun intended. So I'm hoping that that's what that brings. But it just adds to what they've done. So you bring in the Rosa Chapman, you bring in Patrick Sandoval from LA. It's what they've been doing, and we know this because we were so mad about it. They've been just signing guys to 1 and 2 year deals, them being on Tommy John surgery, and then just saying, oh, hey, hopefully we just get you for 1 year as a rental, and then, whatever happens. So I'm happy they gave the money. Cool, they stuck to their guns on giving a short-term deal. Fine, so be it. But you went and got the player. Dylan Cease from San Diego seems to be the next guy that's reported to be a target. I don't think they part ways with Wilyer Abreu and some other guys at the farm system. So I just think that's probably a pipe dream at this moment. But I do think it puts them in play to be a player come January and say, hey, we're going to buy and not sell like we've been doing, or just no sell at all, but not get anything at all. So, but I'm excited. I'm excited to see what they do. I think they're going to be, an improved team. So, yeah. So,
yeah,
like
just
what?
Yeah, listen, it looks like the target right now is just win like 94, 95 games.
That's Sam Kennedy put that out there, said that, he's been very vocal when he hasn't needed to be. But, and someone shared that, I think it was either on Reddit or it might have been on X. It's amazing that certain things will come back together when they started collabing again with Theo.
I know. It's weird.
It's crazy how that happens, right? Once again, Sherrington won with Theo's team, and then obviously Nebraska had his own stamp on the franchise. But yeah, Theo's mind for the game has always been above, head and shoulders above most. That's when they were progressive by getting him when he was young. It's 29 years old, bringing him as the GM, and wanted to go to Billy Beaton out. But they got Theo, and they let Theo do whatever. So I hope that that's what they end up doing with Breslow to an extent. I know that Breslow had his time with Theo in Chicago, so hopefully some things spilled over. But yeah,
do you get the sense though that like Breslow has that same itch to win as Theo, or even Lucchino? Because I think if we look back, hindsight's 2020. When we were in the thick of it, we loved Larry, then we hated Larry.
Mm-hmm.
The desire to beat the Yankees,
was
Larry Lucchino. Always.
Right. Yeah.
Always. He made this team better.
Right.
Now, he took some steps back, but his desire was always to win and always to beat them. And it just felt like, over the recent last 5 years, that's just gone. And Breslow, I don't know if I get that from him. Do you?
No, he's not on that trajectory. I think that he wants to win, but when you also make statements like urgency is a hard thing to define, fine. But I mean, it's really not. Yeah, exactly. It's like what it's so difficult to define that. You want to win, and you want to win now, but also not compromising, the long-term future. I mean, it's a hard line to toe, but you've got to find a way to get it done. That's why you get paid, the money you get paid. So, listen, they got Roman Anthony, they got Christian Campbell. Those are the two guys that are highly touted in their farm system. They parted ways with Kyle Till and their crochet deal. So we'll see who they get as a catcher in the future. Because I think, although I think Connor Wong was really good at times last year, they definitely need another body. I don't think Rich McGuire came back, so we'll see who they bring up or who they bring in to be a catcher. But yeah. I mean, listen, Breslow looks like they're semi giving him the keys. It's clear that Chaim Bloom was a sacrifice. It's clear, and it's unfortunate because I think that he probably had a really good mind. Clearly, when they did what they did in Tampa Bay, but it was like you can't operate like Tampa up here, and you shouldn't operate like your Tampa up here because you're not a small market team. But either way, like I keep saying it, but I'm excited to see how it unfolds. I think their pitching is dramatically improved. I think the bullpen is dramatically improved. I think I saw somewhere they brought back Adam Ottavino, I think on a minor league deal. He
Yep.
was pretty good in 2021. So,
Yep.
so we'll see if he can, recapture some of that magic. But yeah, overall they're in a good spot. And but I wanted to get back to the Devers thing because you brought that up. I don't understand his stance on it. I get it as a competitor. I get it. But it's like, bro, like you said, Mike, he has not been even average at third base, let alone above average. You haven't even been average. Every now and then he makes a play where you're like, oh, like, okay, like if we could get that, that would be awesome.
Right.
But then he'll make 3 or 4 plays in a row, and then the next 5 to 6 games have 3 or 4 errors. And it's just
Yeah,
like,
like you can't get the ball to first or second
yeah,
sometimes.
yeah, it's insane. And I know part of it, he had the elbow injury, he had shoulder injury, so there was some stuff that limits him that he didn't really disclose to the public, which we don't always have to. But at the same time, that would have helped you because it would have eased people's opinion on your field, your play in the field.